Hey y'all, and welcome to Routeless, the podcast for the career dreamers, the late bloomers, and the what am I doing with my life crowd. I'm your host, Grace Kasprak, and here we get real about the messy, winding, and totally unpredictable journey of figuring it all out. Each week I sit down with someone who's somewhere along the path, some who found their path, and some who are still paving it. And we talk about the real stuff, doubt, risk, passion, purpose, all of it. So if you're craving clarity, connection, or just a reminder that you're not alone in this, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Okay, well, welcome, Tori, as she falls over.
It's about right.
Yeah.
That's how this day's been going. It's okay.
Honestly. Has to repark 4 different times.
I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, all right. Okay, so Tori and I became friends, through church.
Through church, yes.
But
after Monday morning.
Yeah, but we've run in the same circles for like
a long time.
8 years.
Yeah.
And we've never met till now.
Which is so crazy. Like the amount of mutuals that we have, like when we were actually discussing it, I was like, how have we never met before?
I'm sure, honestly, I'm really sure.
We probably had run into each other. We had to have.
We had to have. We were in the same circles all the time.
There's no way we wouldn't have.
No, I agree.
That's so crazy.
But anyway, and both being from Texas too.
Right.
Also, just a whole nother layer. I mean, like, not same city, but I feel like Texas is just the largest small town you've ever met in your life.
That's so true. I was literally out at the bars last weekend, met a guy from Southlake.
Yep.
And I was like, that's literally 10 minutes from my hometown.
Yep.
And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, do you know this person? I said, how do you know this person? It was so crazy.
Yes. And to add another layer to that, I will meet people and they'll be like, oh, I'm from Houston. I'm from Dallas. And I'll be like, oh, where? They don't expect you to know.
Right.
And I'm like,
oh,
no. Break it down.
I know.
Where? And then they'll say somewhere and I'll be like, oh, do you know this person? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, this is not only like city specific. This is the whole state. The whole state of Texas knows each other.
Insane.
Or knows someone that knows
but you know person. What? I like it that way.
I do.
It's kind of nice.
I do kind of like it. It's like a little club.
It is.
That is just
I'm like, oh, you
exclusive.
get it. I'm like, we get it.
100%. So, did you grow up in Dallas the whole time?
Born and raised. So my dad's job took him to DC for a year when I was like 2.
Oh.
And then moved back.
Right back.
Yeah. So I born and raised basically there.
Awesome.
In the exact same house.
That's so rare.
That's
so rare.
I think 22, 23 years, my parents lived in that house.
Do they now live in it? They moved.
Yeah, after I graduated college and my sister was still in college, my dad was retiring. So they bought a plot of land, like, almost up in Oklahoma, like the border right then and there.
Like Texarkana kind of vibe?
Kind of. Texarkana is more...
West?
East. Yeah.
East?
Northeast. Yeah, because it's like...
Oh, sorry, we're facing the wrong directions. You were pointing this way.
Oh, I'm just like
that's
like
west.
mentally in my...
Yes.
It's East Texas, but they north, like, up to Oklahoma City. Like that way.
Okay.
Off of 35 up there near like Gainesville, Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally bought a plot of land, built their retirement home, and moved there.
Do they have animals?
They have 2 cats.
I was expecting like cows.
Oh.
Or like chickens or something. No, they just have land.
They just have
cats.
They have like 2 acres. It's nothing crazy.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy at all. It's like a little community.
I don't know why you said up in Gainesville, and I said, they have at least 50 acres.
That is fair. But no, they found like a little, literally neighborhood where everyone's got like 2 acres, and they're all just kind of like next to one another. That's really cute.
That's like the kind of vibe where you can drive like your 4-wheeler or your gator to the neighbor's house.
Yes,
but like close enough that you can do that, but not close enough to where it's like, oh, we're walking.
No.
Okay, cute. I love that for them.
It's cute.
How is it visiting it?
It's tough, because they do live an hour out of the city. So, have to fly in and then go up and see them. And so, it is difficult because, if I do want to see my friends, it's just hard to get anywhere.
Completely different area.
It is, yeah.
You're either going home to see your parents or you're going home to see your friends.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm like, so sorry, I love you guys, but, I'm only here to see certain people this weekend. I'll see you next time. So, like, because I'm going home for Thanksgiving, and literally I'm, like, flying in Wednesday. They're picking me up from the airport, and then they're taking me back on Friday. Like, it's a very quick.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, because I wanted to fly out Saturday or Sunday, but it was, like, $800.
Crazy.
And I said, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. So, to fly, like, Wednesday to Friday, it was, like, $380 instead of about $800. Better. Yeah.
Some of the days that we were looking at for one person was $1,500.
Insane. And I'm like, for what? I'm going 2 hours.
Literally. And luckily we're both remote, so like we can just stay for longer.
Okay.
We found one day where it's a 7-day stay and it was like $500 a person. We were like, that's better.
Sounds good.
Use points.
Book.
Yeah.
Jeez. That does not sound fun.
I feel like traveling over the holidays, I feel like I took it for granted when I lived
No,
close.
especially like living in Arkansas, my grandparents lived up in Springfield, Missouri, 2 hours away.
Easy money.
The perfect going up for Thanksgiving, going up for Christmas, could see them honestly whenever.
Yeah.
And now it's really hitting me that I have to travel for
halfway across
holidays.
the country.
Yeah. So I'm like, that is kind of sad because I originally thought I wasn't even going to go home for Thanksgiving at first. And so like, I'm glad that I am, but now it's really hitting me that I really do have to travel now to just see my family. And I'm like,
It's kind of the worst, but being over here is kind of the best.
Oh, I love it. Right. So I'm like, I'm not mad about it.
No.
But at the same time, I was like, ooh, I'm just not quite used to this yet.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like also Arkansas, it wasn't, for me, it was a 9-hour drive. For you, it's like what?
5.
5?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it was the easiest drive I've ever made.
So easy. I mean, at least for Dallas, you go up, you go side, and then you go up.
You make
that's it.
Legitimately from Austin 4 turns.
Yes, and I think that was
4.
Because would you go just straight up 35?
I'd basically just drive to Dallas, and that was a 35.
Yeah,
you pass right through Waco, and you hit Dallas, and that's it. Like you make no turns.
Yeah,
you get on to I-35. That's one of the turns.
Yeah.
And then you go all the way up to Dallas, and then you make 3 more, and that's it.
Yeah, because then you go 70. Was it 75?
I think so, yeah.
And then you literally just go up 75. Then you hit 40.
Yep.
And then 49.
Yep.
That was
that's it. That's
so nice.
I drove it so much to the point I didn't need directions.
Oh, after like the first...
It was auto drive.
Probably the first year. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is so easy. Mm-hmm. I know exactly where I'm going.
Exactly. And but one time...
Oh, God.
I used Waze.
Okay. People, praise Waze. No. I've never used it.
No. I had one traumatic experience, and I'll never use it again. It took me on the Indian Highway. Did it ever take you that way?
No.
Okay. Outside of Arkansas, I think there was a wreck on 75.
Oh.
And so, that road, if there's a wreck, it's just shut.
Yes.
It's just shut down. And so it took me on this backwards way. It took me down one of the Oklahoma reservations. And when I say... I didn't have a phone charger because my phone almost died.
Ugh.
I almost ran out of gas. And I was in the middle of a reservation. It was one of the scariest moments of my life as a 19-year-old girl. I was like, I'm not only almost out of gas because Waze didn't tell me there's no gas stations over here. None.
I mean, to be fair, there's not many on the drive up there anyways.
No, but at least, they're compiled appropriately to where, no one's going to run out of gas. There's none on the Indian Highway. Then, on top of it, my phone charger just, stopped working. It's not like I didn't plan ahead. It's not like I can, slap myself across the face. It just stopped working. And then my phone died. And then I finally pulled up to a gas station. When I tell you, I think my car was on 3.
No.
I pulled up to this gas station in the middle of a reservation. I walk in, and I'm so done. I'm so done. I walk in, and I look at the guy, and I go, I need a phone charger now.
Now.
And he goes, oh, yeah, we have one.
You're like, thank you.
Thanks. I get the car charger, I get the gas, I get in my car, I plug everything back in, and that was the last time I ever used Waze again. I was sure thought I was going to run out of gas and get taken in the middle of a reservation, never to be seen again.
That's insane.
Never to be seen again.
That's a good reason why not to use Waze ever again.
No, I think that's smart. Find the best route.
And you're like, okay.
You almost abandoned me in the middle of a reservation.
That's terrifying.
There's so little laws.
Yes, that is
People dump bodies on reservations.
Yeah.
For reasons. And I've seen too much stuff about it. Anyway, that's not even the point here. It was an easy drive.
It was.
Growing up in Dallas.
Yes.
Give me just like a little bit of rundown of what little Tori was.
Oh, little Tori was obsessed with gymnastics.
Really?
Yes. So from the time I was like 2 or 3, apparently I was just floating all about the house. I was doing cartwheels. I was jumping off my parents' furniture and everything, like twisted. They could not keep me still. So finally, I think when I reached 4, 5, they were like, we need to do something with this girl, because like I just had so much energy. I was always doing something. And they found a local gymnastics spot, enrolled me, and that became my entire life. Like, by the time I think I was 6 or 7, I was practicing 35-hour plus a week for gym. Morning practices, straight to school, night practices, Monday through Saturday, basically. It was my entire life.
Talk about a hyperfixation.
Yes. So, don't get me wrong. I look back at my time and I love gymnastics. Like, it was something that I was super passionate about. It was something I was really good at.
That's crazy.
But I just had a lot of bad coaches. So, the place that I went to later on was in a lot of hot water. For the way that they coached and what they allowed people to get away with.
Got it.
So like I look back at a time and I think I kind of blacked most of it out, if I'm being completely honest.
Traumatic.
Yes, it was definitely like I will never forget.
I feel like that's a pretty common thing within the gymnastics world though, right? There's like a lot of criticism towards how things are done because of the level that people want things done at.
There was, oh my gosh, we weren't allowed to. It'd be like 4-hour practices. We'd have 3-hour practices in the morning, then we'd go straight to school. Some of us went to school at the gym, and then we would come back and we'd have 4-hour practices later that night. And like, we were not allowed to eat. We were not allowed to drink during these. Like, it was so bad that like some of the girls started developing like
eating disorders.
Yes. Some of them had, what is it? Where you, I can't think of it. Stones. Where you
Kidney stones?
Kidney stones. They were 10 years old.
Because they weren't eating and
drinking. One girl, like, she had to go to the bathroom. That was another thing. So when we would rotate, we would get, like, maybe 2 minutes between, like, going from one event to the next, where you just kind of, like, you'd run into the locker room, grab whatever you needed. If you needed to go to the bathroom, you'd have to go, like, right then and there. And then you weren't allowed to, like, leave the event once you were there. One girl, we were on beam, and she had to go to the bathroom so badly, but our coach would not allow it, that she ended up peeing right there on the beam. It was a lot of trauma, but it was something that I loved. And so, like, I didn't realize it until obviously a lot later in life, when I was like, that was not normal. Because when you're in that,
not healthy.
Right, and I'm like, when you're in that situation, like, you think that this is normal. Like, you think that you don't know anything else.
Like, right. What are you supposed to think?
It was, I mean, so when I started gymnastics, I started on the Olympic path. And so that's, So I was 7, and I was already, like, training for the Olympics.
Holy crap.
Basically. Because, like, you have to, it's such a young sport, too.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and that's why it puts so much stress and weight on your body. It's just a lot. And so I finally got to the point, I think I was in 3rd grade, 3rd or 4th grade, when I was like, I don't want to go to the Olympics. Like, this is too much. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to go to college. And then I got ostracized by my coaches because I didn't want to continue on that Olympic path. And so my coaches at the time actually screwed me over, which was just a whole other story. So then I ended up moving gyms at one point because I was like, I just can't stay here. But that mentality, that like that same coaching style doesn't change. Like, it's just such a prevalent thing. And so even going to my new gym, like, there was still that dynamic. Energy. Yeah. So that was my entire childhood until I turned about 16 is when I officially quit gym. So I did it for 10 plus years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment where you were like, maybe I'm interested in something else during those 10 years?
Wow. It was always gym. Like, there was nothing I ever liked anything else, like anything better. Mm-hmm. I was good at it too. Yeah. So it was just hard to like give that up. At one point, my 8th grade year, I wanted to quit gymnastics because I was going through a really bad injury. And so I was out, and I ended up growing like 5 inches within 1 year. Yeah. And so like getting back into it was hard. And so at one point I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. But then I continued. I pushed it out until my sophomore year, where I physically was like breaking down. Like, my body could not handle the pressure and the stress of gymnastics anymore. And I finally like had to look at my parents and be like, I can't physically do this anymore.
You're also not short. You're not like...
No. So when I got injured, I was 5'2", 5'3", and I was maybe 90 pounds, like soaking wet. I was tiny. Perfect height for a gymnast. Yeah. Then I got injured, and that set me out for a whole year. And literally in that year, since I wasn't practicing as much as I was, I shot up. And I gained a lot of weight that I wasn't, like, my body wasn't used to carrying around. So it was like harder to do the skills that I had previously been doing.
It's also like your body at some point, when you were 5'2", this small, it was probably because you were pushing so hard, your body like didn't have the nutrients to grow.
And because you're burning so much more than you're actually intaking.
You're just in an insane caloric deficit constantly, which at a kid's age is
bad.
Horrible.
Bad. Yeah. So, like, I mean, we did not go through, like, normal growth spurts. We didn't go through normal anything as a kid because, like, gymnastics just takes such a toll.
What was your favorite event?
Floor. I loved floor. Oh. I liked doing my routines. I liked showing off. I think that was my favorite.
What was your least favorite?
Beam. Hated beam. It was more of like a mental thing, just like seeing the floor. Like, you're only on 4 inches of something, and so then you can like see the floor when you're looking down, and it just messed with my head.
That's fair.
Did not care for it one bit.
That's fair. I think I hate heights. Not like the beam is that high off the floor, but like that is enough.
It is. It's enough. It's enough.
Like when you're upside down.
Yes, because like you can visually like see the difference between like the beam and where you're at, and then like where the floor is. Yeah. And I took many tumbles off the beam. So, yeah.
Jeez. Okay. So sophomore year of high school, you quit.
Yes.
How was that? Was it kind of like an existential crisis?
It was weird.
Okay.
Like, my entire life revolved around gymnastics, so I didn't really know what to do next. So I ended up, that next year, my junior year, I ended up running track for the school. Because I was like, this is the only sport that I can really pick up right now. Because I'm like, you're either fast or you're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let's do track. So I ended up running. I did the 100 and 300 hurdles.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was like, the movement, the way to get over
was so similar.
It's like what I was doing gymnastics. Yeah. So I was like, oh, we'll pick that up. Picked it up pretty easily. And then I did the 4x4 as well. And I enjoyed that. It was nice to like be a part
of a team
and at the school.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Growing up, I did off-campus PE. Yeah. And so I was never really like involved in the school. I just went, I did my school, and then I left. So it was nice for like the first time like being involved in a school sanctioned.
It's like that camaraderie because you get to like almost like before you were going through the trenches with people that you saw every day, but like that you didn't go to school with. And then when you join like a school sport, you get to go through the trenches with the people you go to class with.
Right. And I'm like, we get it. We understand one another. Yeah. And so it was definitely, I enjoyed that. Okay. I enjoyed that a lot.
So jumping a little bit back towards a little bit younger you.
Okay.
When you were, let's put it at like your prime gymnastics years.
Okay.
Did you think you were going to go to the Olympics? Was that like your career goal?
Not really.
Okay.
When I got to the point where I was like, this is too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. My like biggest goal was to go to college. That was like,
you said that a little bit.
Yes, that's what I was striving for. Like after I realized, I was like, the Olympics is too much. I don't want to do this to myself. Like just seeing all of my friends, like we were kind of all in the same boat with one another. And I was like, I don't want to continue this.
Yeah.
And so, like, I will say for a moment, like, I lost my love for gymnastics because, like, we were just putting so much. Like, I had...
It's too much pressure.
It was. I had no free time. Like, there was nothing that I was doing for myself.
Yeah.
And I was, like, always striving to be perfect and, like, getting it right. And I was 10.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, I don't want this. So when I really stepped back, like, I looked at the other gymnasts in the program, and a lot of them were going off to college. And so at one point we had a meet in Georgia, and I'll never forget this, and we went to a Georgia gymnastics meet, and I fell in love with college gymnastics. Like, the atmosphere, the camaraderie, because, like, gymnastics is a very singular sport. Like, it is all about you, how you do, how you place. But when you go to college, it's not. It's very much a team collective. And I was like, this is what I want. And so I finally, like, that's when I decided. I was like, I would rather go to college than anything else.
Than the Olympics.
Yes.
Okay. So then you get to sophomore year and you're like, okay, well, I'm now not doing gymnastics in college.
So I will say, when it comes to, like, college gymnastics, they recruit very young. Like, 8th grade.
Whoa!
I know, it's crazy. Like, 8th grade, maybe.
Is that legal?
I don't know how, but, like, 8th grade, freshman year, like, you're already committing to your college. And because then after, like, when you continue high school, that's just when you're refining your skills for college.
Wow.
Yes. So I got injured the end of my 7th grade season. So it was right before Western. So the way that meets work, you have to qualify for the next one. So, like, as the season goes, you end up at state, and that's, like, the final one.
Okay.
You compete with everyone in your entire state. If you place in a certain, like, ranking for your all-around score, then you can advance to the next meet.
Okay.
So for 7th grade, you only compete, or 7th, or your level 7, you only compete state.
Okay.
Level 8, you can qualify to regionals. So then you have, like, states from around, they have their state meet, then you qualify and compete together. For level 9, you go state, regionals, and then westerns or easterns, depending on, like, where you're at in the United States. And then, like, level 10, state, regionals, and then nationals.
Okay.
So my first year competing level 9 was my 7th grade. I'd come off winning regionals, like, all around.
Wow.
And qualified to westerns. And the week of, my coach was like, let's change your beam routine. And I said, why would we do that? And it was because I was starting at a 9.9 start value instead of a 10. So, like, your skill compilations, like, what you put together is, like, you get more points, basically. And so I was starting at a 9.9, and she was like, let's change your leap line so you'll start at a 10.0 for westerns. But I was like, I've been doing this exact same routine all season long. Why are we going to change it? And then that's when I ended up getting injured. Was
it on beam?
It was on beam. And we changed. It was a switch leap. Instead of a switch leap split jump, she wanted me to do a switch leap back tuck. And when I landed...
That's a big difference.
I know.
I don't even know what those terms are, but they're descriptive enough to where I can see it in my brain.
Yes. And so I kept landing with my feet crooked, and so I wouldn't go for the back tuck. And I'm like, I'm not going to go for something if I know I'm not going to land it.
Yeah.
And so literally my coach yelled at me, and she was like, if you do not go for your switch leap back tuck on your next routine, I am pulling you from westerns, basically. That was something that they loved to threaten, was to pull you from meets. So I go, land crooked, but I'm like, I got to go for it. So I went for the back tuck. I missed. My big toe got caught on the beam. So when I fell down, it, like, dislocated and tore the ligaments in my foot. So that is what set me out for quite some time. So then when I got back in my freshman year, I was already behind the curve.
And now you're tall.
And now I'm tall. And so it was just hard, like, trying to get recruited at such an older age. And my skills were not where they used to be when I was younger.
That's God's work.
And so finally I was just like, I physically can't do this anymore. So
that needed to be removed from your life for some reason.
For some reason, and I'm very thankful for it, because, like, I obviously would not have gone to Arkansas if I hadn't.
Was there, like, a dream gymnastics school you wanted to go to?
So it was Georgia for a while, because I mean that was my first college gymnastics meet, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And then oddly enough, the Air Force Academy.
Oh.
Don't know why.
Okay, in Colorado?
In Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It is very pretty. I've driven by it.
Gorgeous. And so that became another dream. But I'm very glad that none of it worked out.
Wow. Okay, so now you're in track.
So yes, ran track my junior and senior year of high school.
Okay, so in that junior, senior year, you know, you're like reevaluating everything. You're like, I still want to go to college. Mm-hmm. Like, that's been, you know, in the plan for forever. What was kind of, I don't know, what was your like life conceptualization at that point? Because you were running track. I don't really know how you fit in there, but like you were great at gymnastics and then you were out. Mm-hmm. So it's like a big shift for you. It was,
yeah. And it was definitely a big shift within my family as well. Because like both my parents were expecting me to go to college on a full ride.
Scholarship.
Yes. And so it definitely was hard with like once that dynamic changed, because my parents are like, well, we just spent so much money for you to do this sport because we figured you were going to go to college for it. So it was kind of hard like navigating what my life was going to look like next, because I was like, my entire life just up and ended.
In gymnastics, I forget that, but yeah, it's an extremely expensive sport.
Oh my gosh. It's
like dance.
I look back and I feel so bad because they spent so much money between like the Leos that we had to buy, that like we had to get new ones every 2 years, with the warm-ups, with all of the grips and wrist guards that I went through, with all the leotards that we had to buy, the travel. Like I feel like gymnastics is one of those sports where they travel everywhere.
It's like cheerleading.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we traveled to Chicago, to Pennsylvania, Florida. So I'm like, they spent so much money. And my dreams just up and ended, basically. In one day.
All because of a big toe. All because the coach just wasn't okay with a 9.9.
I look back,
even though you were okay,
right,
with a 9.9.
And that's like I look back and I wish I like would have stood up for myself more than I did. But again, it's just that
you're so young,
right? It's that environment. I don't know any better, you know. Like I was never taught to like have a voice. Like I was taught to obey, and follow and listen to what they're telling me.
Yeah,
and so
just like every other person did,
right?
Yeah,
and so it was definitely hard, and I don't think my parents realized like how much I struggled with not doing gymnastics anymore either, because like I loved it. I loved gymnastics.
Your whole heart was in it.
And so it was definitely a rough transition to kind of figure out what I was going to do next. And then I thought maybe I could run track in college, like maybe get like a little scholarship for hurdles. But I just finally got to the point where I was like, I've been working out my entire life. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so
I just want to be me.
Right. I was like, I just want to have a normal experience and not like being pressured to perform and at my peak. Yes.
Crazy version of myself.
Right.
I would just like to be the very average, normal version of myself.
Yes.
And that be okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think for a while with my parents, it wasn't. And so that kind of sucked, because I just don't think that they realized like how much I was struggling, especially because Lauren was playing soccer.
That's your sister?
That was my little sister. Okay. Yes.
Is it just you two?
It's just us two.
Okay.
But like my sister was a freak athlete. Like was varsity basketball, volleyball, soccer, track. Like I mean, she was insane.
That is crazy.
And me, I only had the one sport. And then when that was it, like I had nothing else basically. Like I felt like my whole identity was wrapped up in gymnastics. So then, I don't know, it was just like...
When it was gone, it was like, who am I?
Exactly. And then it just felt like my parents started like putting more of their focus on Lauren now that she is the sole like athlete in the family. So it was definitely a very weird dynamic.
Absolutely.
Just trying to like figure out what I was going to do next.
How do you think that affected like you at that stage of life?
I think I did go through definitely a hard time, and I think I found relief in like ways that I probably wouldn't have. Like I feel like I started partying and maybe not hanging out with the best crowd, like looking back. And I think it was just because I didn't know how to handle everything that was going on.
Yeah. I mean, that's like,
you know,
I can only imagine that's one of the hardest transitions. Like that's not something I've personally experienced because I was never skilled at one thing.
Yeah, you just had...
I was never like, the one thing I was really good at. But I can't imagine putting all my eggs in one basket and then that basket being ripped out from under me.
Yeah.
Not to my own fault.
Right. And I'm like, it's not like I wanted to quit. It was just like I had to, or I physically probably like would have been in a wheelchair. Yeah. Just the way that my body just kept deteriorating. Reacting. Yeah.
Yeah. And so having that basket ripped out from under you from someone else, it's not even like you can prepare for that. It's not even like, like a long-winded, like, things are starting to act up.
Right.
It's just like it happens, and then you're like, what do I do? Who am I? Like, I've spent all of my memory investing in this one thing every single wake of my existence.
Right.
And now...
I'm like, what do I do next? Yeah.
Without
it was definitely hard. I definitely did some, like, I was just involved in the wrong crowd doing some things that I honestly would have never done.
Yeah.
Because I never had, and this is funny, I never had the time to do any of that growing up because I was so focused on gym. So busy. And so it was hard, I will say. How did
you get out of that?
I think my thing was I had gotten away from my faith for a while too, because with gymnastics, like, we were always practicing, like I never had the time. And so I started going back like to church regularly. They had a thing, it was called the Mix. And so it was for like middle schooler and high schoolers that they would come to. And so I started joining that, and that kind of like brought me back.
Built the gap.
Yes.
Okay.
Which was...
That's awesome.
Forever thankful for.
Yeah, finding your identity elsewhere.
Right. Then in something that holistic. I mean, yeah, because like I look back and I think of like gymnastics was my idol. Like that is what I put above everything else. And so I think that's why God was like, all right, it's time to...
They always say he's a super jealous God.
I know. And I was like, it's time for you to take it down peg.
Rework it a little bit.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. It was like my entire world. And so it definitely was...
Okay. So how did you end up at Arkansas?
So oddly enough, my freshman year, I went to Texas State. So... Oh! Yeah, I know.
Whoa, in San Marcos?
Yes.
My brother lives in San Marcos now.
Love San Marcos.
It's cute.
Gorgeous. So my senior year, all of like my girlfriends from high school, we went and we toured Texas State. Loved it. Yeah. We thought it was just a cute campus.
It is.
It is. It's gorgeous.
It's really cute.
Loved it. And so my freshman year, I went there. I ended up having a falling out with those girls.
Oh, okay.
That I went to college with. And it was not, like, I look back and those friendships were not good. Like, it was one of those, like, toxic situations where, like, if all of us were hanging out, but, like, one girl wasn't there, they would always, like, talk about that one girl. Just one of those things. And so then I started thinking, I was like, well, what are they saying about me when I'm not there? Yeah. So it was just big falling out. And I ended up visiting one of my best friends. His name is Spencer. The second I stepped on that campus, fell in love. I fell in love.
Wait, I 100% know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, no, you know the man. I was like, you know Spencer. So he was my roommate. He was my roommate sophomore year. So when I transferred in.
Yes.
When I transferred in, he was my roommate. But so I went to visit him for a weekend and literally fell in love. Called my mom and I said, hey, so I'm transferring to Arkansas. And she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm moving. Like,
honestly, it was probably cheaper.
So I didn't get in-state per se.
Yeah.
But I got like a transfer scholarship that covered
the rest of it. Nice.
And so I was like, oh, okay. So my parents were like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah.
And literally sophomore year, transferred to Arkansas. And the best decision I had ever made.
That's awesome.
Besides moving to Charlotte. But...
well, that's later on in life. At that point,
decision. It was. Like, I met so many amazing girls. Like, I rushed. And so I joined. I was a FIMU up there. And it was just a good little community that I had.
So, back in Texas State, what were you majoring in?
Criminal justice.
Okay, so like...
yes. So
when was that decision made, and how did you go into that?
It was made within my first month of school. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I thought maybe forensic science in a way.
Okay.
And I was in a bio and chem class.
Okay.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Immediately dropped biology. I said, this is not for me. Immediately dropped it.
I don't know many people who didn't.
It was so bad. But I kept my chem class because I was like, okay, I still need the science credit. And I took a criminal justice class, fell in love. And now, so my dad he was a criminal justice major. That was his job for a long time. So, like, I grew up in the lifestyle. Like, I knew what it entailed. And just, like, taking the class just kind of, like, reaffirmed. I'm like, okay, this is something that I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
so what about bio and chem made you want to drop this? Because some people are like, it's too hard. Some people are like, it didn't work with my brain.
It didn't work with my brain. Like, something about it, just, like, taking those classes, like, especially with chemistry. Like, when I kept chemistry, I understood the lessons. I understood the homework. But then when it would come to the exams, they weren't what we went over in class. And she was like, oh, but you need to apply it. Like, what we learned. And I'm like, my brain doesn't work like that.
I need to learn
the
application.
What you're telling me. Yeah. And
I need to learn in the application, not in the science.
Yes.
So, like, you have to teach me...
exactly.
You have to
basically,
teach it backwards.
Yes.
Basically. You have to teach it how it's real world existence versus the chemicals and the bonding and everything on paper.
Literally, I think I cried once a week because of chemistry. And then when I transferred to Arkansas, your science major or your science credit, you have to take a lab. But at Texas State, if you weren't a science major, you didn't have to take the lab. Oh. So then when I transferred to Arkansas, I was literally taking a chemistry lab, but not in chemistry. And I was like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. It's been 1 year since I've done any of this.
Yeah.
So luckily, like, my little, like, lab mates were very sweet. And they helped me
along.
Through it. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, that's fair.
But,
okay, so you picked criminal justice.
Yes.
And you were excited about it.
Yes.
You were like, oh, I found my niche.
Loved it.
I found my thing.
It made sense in my brain. I could follow along.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, this is what we're going to do.
What was your favorite course that you took in college?
Ooh, it was up in Arkansas, and it was my criminal investigation class. Okay. So the professor was a crime scene investigator for like 20 years up in Arkansas.
So cool.
Yes. Oh my, love the class. I even made one of my roommates senior year take the class.
Just for fun.
But so basically he would talk about like the process of like how to secure a crime scene, how to like bag evidence, enter evidence, stuff like that. But at the end of class, he would pull up old pictures from crime scenes that he worked.
Whoa.
And he would like walk through it, and then he'd be like, okay, so what do you think happened? So it was really cool to like...
I just got goosebumps. That's so cool.
It was so much fun. I mean, he would always be like, okay, graphic warning, you're going to see a dead body. If you're uncomfortable, you can leave.
You should maybe think about changing your major.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. But, I mean, it was so cool to see how it all, like, kind of comes together and, like, what to look for when you're at a crime scene. That was my favorite class.
Also, I find this so interesting because you thrive in looking at the end result and working backwards. All sciences are working from the front forward.
Right, and I'm like, my brain does not process that way.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
You work from the
like
final point all the way back.
And I'm like, you try to figure out what happened, and loved that class. It was so much fun.
I don't think that's a realization I've ever made with anyone before. It's like you're either a work it forward or a work it back person.
I like to know the end result and then kind of like figure out, okay, how did we get here?
Do you read the last chapter of a book before you read it?
No. Not anymore.
Do you solve it before you get there?
I like to, yes. Especially when it comes to like psychological thrillers. I love to try to, I'll literally like take notes and be like, okay, so what happened? And I like when I'm surprised by like the plot twist, you know, because I'm like, oh, that's not something I would have ever thought of. And so I find those very interesting.
That's so, wow. I love that for you. Okay, so you take this criminal investigations class and you're like, I'm all over it. Like, I literally have fallen in love with this. So that was junior year?
That was my junior year.
Okay.
Yes.
So you still have a whole nother year in class in college, right? So throughout that next 2 years, I guess, like throughout your process in college, particularly the last 2 years, because that's really when you get into the bulk of your major. If someone's somewhat interested in criminal justice, they're like, I don't know if I'd be interested. I don't know if I wouldn't. What advice would you give them if they're just trying to figure out like if that's a spot they want to be in or not?
I feel like finding your niche in criminal justice, because like, yes, there's a broad overview of criminal justice, but there's so many little things that I don't think people realize that you can do.
Yeah, like what?
So I took a class over like juveniles, and so it was specifically like juvenile crimes, like what are juveniles committing, why are they committing. So I double majored with criminology and sociology, and so a lot of those classes kind of overlapped in a way of like you're seeing like who's committing the crime and kind of why, you know? And then like I took an incarcerations class, so then you can like be on the incarceration side, like not maybe working cases, but you could be like working in the jail, or you could be parole officers and you're like working to help people like rehabilitate and like get back into society. Like there's just so many little niche things that you could do, and that's my like just try to find like your favorite.
Are you focused on the people? Are you focused on like the problem solving?
Do you like the research? Do you like to see like demographics of like, okay, this area is committing a certain amount of crime. Why are they doing that? You know,
there's so many different aspects to criminal justice, not just like the general like
it's just criminal justice
of it all. If you're like get a major in like criminology and like criminal justice and all that kind of stuff, can you veer into like being a cop or like a judge?
Absolutely.
Like
so I feel like judges, I mean, obviously you have to go to law school, and that is more political science. You get a political science major, and then you would go to law school and everything, but you can still get a criminal justice major and go to law school.
So interesting too, because it's called criminal justice, and I feel like when people think about justice with criminals, they think of a judge.
Right, exactly, but they get a political science major.
But it's different.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, I took a judicials class, and it basically talked about the court cases and how they came to be, you know, like what crimes happened, and then why do we have the laws that we have now. That was really cool.
Interesting.
So you just like, you kind of have to find like your little
area
of
that
what
piques your interest.
You like, because there's so much to it. And I didn't even realize that when I started college. But then I just started taking these different classes, and I'm like, oh, so I could do this if I wanted to. So it just kind of like opened my mind to like how much there is to offer within like the broad spectrum of criminal justice. I guess.
I think it just goes to show also like you going in undecided originally and then picking your place.
Had no idea.
Like, I think it goes to show the importance of how valuable it is to just try things, see what sticks. One of my favorite sayings ever, and you know what, I just can't veer from this, it's throwing shit and seeing what sticks.
No, seriously.
Because when has that ever proved wrong?
That's true.
And never. Because I feel like trying to put your hands in a few different things, seeing what works for you, that's the only way you're going to figure it out. And also at the same time, if you go into a major and you don't like it, you don't have to stick with it.
And that was a big concern. Like, I was a little nervous. I'm like, well, what will my parents say? Like, if I don't want to stick with this. But they were very supportive. I'm like, look, like, I think I'd rather just focus on criminal justice instead. And they're like, no, they were totally supportive about that, which was really nice. And then, like, within criminal justice, like, I did sociology classes. So I'm like, oh, did I like this more? And, like, learning about, like, why people interact with one another, like, how society interacts with one another. So just like trying the little different things, and I mean, I just stuck with criminal justice.
Found your niche. Okay, really so you're graduating college, right?
Okay,
you got criminal justice, you got criminology, sociology. What's next?
So my dad was a really big help in this process. So where he was working at the time had an opening for kind of what I wanted to go into. And that was like the forensic side of it. Even though I don't have a forensic background, everything that I could be doing was on the job training. So like you don't need a scientist background or anything like that. And so he was a big help about kind of like letting me know that the job was opening up and then going in and applying for it.
Nice. Okay. So in that situation, I mean, like, a lot of people follow in footsteps of, like, their family. Because it's what you grow up with. It's also, like, some things are genetic. You know, like, some things fit because genetically, hate to say it, you're similar to your parents, okay?
Yeah, I would agree.
And so, in that manner, you were kind of, like, you had like a role model.
Yeah.
You had someone to be like, okay, I'm not going to let you go into this blind. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, is so valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was so nice. And, like, I mean, you can go so many different routes. Like, you can go local, where you can just, like, work at your local department. Mm-hmm. You can go statewide. You can work with, like, the troopers. Or you can go federally.
Okay.
My dad, since he grew, like, he worked in the federal side, he always just told me, he's like, go federal whenever you can. Yeah. So I just took his advice. But, I mean, there's so many options that you could take with it.
So many smaller niches that you can go into. Okay. So you apply for this job.
Mm-hmm. So oddly enough, they didn't pick me to interview at first. They had 3 other candidates that they picked to interview.
Okay.
And originally it's because I just didn't have any experience, which kind of annoyed me, because on the application site it said no experience necessary.
It's everywhere now.
And I was like, okay, cool. But
no experience is like 3 to 4 years of experience.
Right. And I was like, I just graduated college. Right. I was like, I just graduated. Like, what experience do you want me to have?
Yeah.
And so the guy who was sitting in on the interviews, not the one making the final decision, but he knew my dad. And so he reached out to the company that ended up hiring me, and they were like, hey, like, is there any reason why you didn't pick this girl to interview?
Yeah.
And they're basically like, oh, well, she just doesn't have any experience. Like, do you know her? Like, would you recommend her? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think that she at least should get an interview for it. So then they gave me the interview, and I ended up doing really well.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yes. I mean, especially in the government.
Yeah, in a federal sense.
Yes. It's about who you know. Like, without Cody, I would not have gotten the job.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice. But it still had to rely on myself to do well in the interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
Absolutely. They just gave you an open door. Yes. But, like,
you still had to do well.
To walk through the door, and you still had to do a good job doing it.
Yes. But so got the job, and I've been doing it ever since. It's been 4 years now since I've started.
Awesome.
What I do.
Okay, so generally within your day-to-day, like, what does that look like for you? Is it flexible? Like, do you sit at a desk? Do you get to move? Like, what does your job look like?
So I do have a desk where I can do all of my work if I need to, but I mainly work in a lab. So where I'm at right now, I have a whole lab designed for local departments to come in and get their evidence basically put into our system.
Gotcha.
So we have, I've got a shoot tank. So if guns are recovered by departments, they can bring it in and we can test fire them there. I have my machine where I do all my acquisitions on. So it's very flexible in a way of, like, I set up times with the departments to come in. They just reach out to me and they're like, hey, we've got a bunch of casings. Can we bring them in? Is there any day that's available? I'm like, yeah, like, come in at this day at this time.
So you kind of get to, like, set the schedule.
Yes, basically, because I'm the only one that works in the lab, too. So it's solely on me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, you can come in this day. Or like, oh, no, I'm busy this day. Like, would you mind coming in another day? So it's very up to basically me.
Do a lot of, like, your days look like you alone?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have to be okay with a very solitude.
Yes.
Like, now, work environment.
I will say, where I work, there's a lot of coworkers that I work with.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, it's just me.
Yeah. You're not a part of, like, a team where you're, like, cohesively working together. It's just you doing your position.
Now, this will change. So I got a promotion within my job a couple weeks ago, and I moved it to a level 2.
Congrats.
The level 1 that I was sitting at was now open. Okay. So they actually just went and hired somebody to fill that
level 1
position.
Got it.
So now soon, if whoever the candidate is, if they accept the job and they go through the background check, then there will be 2 of us sitting at the lab.
So you get a buddy.
I get a buddy.
You get a buddy.
Okay.
So
that'll be exciting.
But how has the solitude of it all been?
It's honestly been fine. I don't mind it. Okay. Because I come in and I get my work done. Yeah. And then I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's no, like, big requirements to where it's, like, even if you get your job done, you don't just, like, have to hang around till 5 p.m. hits? No. You just come in, do it, get out.
As long as the people who I work for, as long as they're happy with what I'm getting done, my job's happy.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay, that's sweet. So you go into the office, you get your work done, whatever, and you're solitude, so you're not working with anyone else. would you say that you're more extroverted or introverted? Or an ambivert?
You know what? I would have said younger me, introverted. Through and through.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Through and through.
I would have never guessed.
I know. Like, younger me did not like to talk to anybody. Like, especially, like, middle school me, I had one friend, and that was it. I went in, I did my school, I barely talked to anybody, and then I left.
So this is like you in middle school, just at work now.
But nowadays, I feel like I'm very extroverted.
Okay.
In a way. Mm-hmm. So when I go and I get some work done and then I know that I have like a little gap until another department comes in, I will just walk around the shop and just bug all of my coworkers. I'm like, oh, what are you working on today? Oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like our canine handler will come into the office and I'm like, well, what do you got today? Like, are you doing any training with the dog? Because our dog is on the food reward system. Mm-hmm. So she has to work in order to get fed. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, do you need any help with training today? Like, I will be so up in their business. Because I don't want to be by myself for the hour or two that I have.
So you love social interaction.
I do.
But ultimately, do you think you get your energy from that or you get your energy from being alone?
No, I get it from being alone.
Okay, yeah. So you ultimately are more introverted.
Yes.
You're just an outgoing introvert.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I like working by myself because if I had people there, it'd be distracting.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, I'd want to talk. I'd want to get to know what's going on and see like what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's nice because I'm like, I have the time to be by myself and I get all my work done. Mm-hmm. And then once I'm done, I just like to walk around and kind of chat with everyone.
Okay. I love when things come full circle though, because you really look at yourself in middle school.
Yeah.
And you then get to basically look forward and be like, wait, that matches.
Yes.
That makes perfect sense.
It does.
There is this book called Finding Your Why. And I've talked about it before on the pod, but basically one of his tactics is look at yourself when you were 10.
Okay.
How did you live? How did you exist? What were your favorite hobbies? Were you a singular hobby gal? Were you a multiple hobby gal?
Gotcha.
Did you have multiple friends? Did you have one friend? Did you like to be alone? Did you like to be, outside, all that kind of stuff? Take all that information. How can you apply it to being an adult? Because most likely, all those attributes that you had at around age 10 is before you were exposed to, like, life to the point where everybody else has had an input on your world.
Right.
And so if you can take the most authentic version of who you are deep down and replicate that into your adulthood, most likely you will be fulfilled the most.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you did that.
Yeah.
Like without even knowing.
Just about.
Yeah. Okay. So you get to bug people, but you also get to work alone.
Yes.
What's the most fulfilling part of your job?
I think it's when new departments start participating in what I'm doing and they actually see the results.
Okay.
So I will say, moving out here, a lot of the local departments, they like to do things their own way. Mm-hmm. You know, they're kind of set in their ways. They're like, oh, well, we've always been doing it this way. Like, we don't need any help. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, oh, just come down to the lab. Like, let me show you what we can do. Mm-hmm. And then they actually see the results that are produced from it. Like, they can actually see that these seemingly random shootings are connected with one another. That they're like, oh, this does work. And so I think the best part is, like, seeing the results and like
of your hard work.
Yes. And these departments
seeing
like realizing that this actually does work, and then they start participating.
That's awesome.
And they start giving more evidence, and then like more shootings start getting connected to one another. So I think that's the best part of my job.
What's your least favorite thing about your job, whether it's the sitting, whether it's the focus, whether it's like or if there's nothing?
Honestly, I was like, this might sound crazy, but I don't. There's no like thing that I hate the most.
You love it all.
I love it all. I love what I do. Like, I love the program that I work with. I love my coworkers. Like, I genuinely, like, there's nothing bad that I could ever say about it.
That's so rare.
I know. And that was the thing. So growing up, like, my dad was the same way. Absolutely loved his job. I never once heard him complain, ever, about his job, like, having to go in extra hours or having to do something or whatever. Never once heard him complain. My mom, on the other hand, complained about her job 24/7.
What did she do?
She was a pharmaceutical sales rep. And so, like, that
sounds horrible.
It is hard. Because you got to get your numbers up. Then you're, like, on the chopping block.
It's gymnastics.
It is. It's bad. And so, like, you know.
It's literally gymnastics for a child.
Yes. So, seeing my mom complain about it and always being scared. And in my dad, absolutely loving what he does. And I was like, well, I want to do something like that. And
Yeah.
I did. I found the perfect job for me.
Wow. That's such, I mean, that's
It's
such a
so
feat.
rare. And
That's such a feat.
But, like, there's not one thing that I hate about my job.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's where you're at now.
Yes.
What's kind of your future hope? Is it just to continue on this track and grow?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was even, like, I was talking to my date last night about it because he was like, where do you, like, see this going? And I'm like, honestly,
the rest of my life.
yeah. And I was like, I love what I do. Like, I'm so passionate about it. And, like, when new departments start participating, like, they can tell. And I think that's what also starts them to, like, start coming regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Is because I genuinely, like, believe in what we're doing.
There's, who said this? Who was, I don't remember who it was. So whoever it is, take credit. But they were saying you have to be so overly excited. Oh, it was Annabelle Johnson.
Oh.
She was like, you have to be so overly excited about what you're doing that it gets other people excited.
Right,
Because if you're not, it's never going to carry forward.
And I definitely, like, you can see that within the job that I do. Like, the prior person who was there before me just didn't do a lot of reach out. You know, numbers were really
Outreach,
low.
yeah.
Yeah, and so not a lot of people even knew about what we were doing before I got here. And then it just exploded.
Yeah.
Since I took over.
You don't have to be a salesman.
No.
You just have to be passionate, and that sells.
Yes.
Passion sells.
It does.
Because you could be the craziest person in the building. But, like, crazy gets eyes. Crazy gets attention. If you're crazy about something, people are going to be like, I wish I was that passionate about something. What the heck? Like, I don't care if you're crazy or not. Like, the fact that you're this into it, okay, cool. It's now cool.
Yes.
It's not crazy anymore.
No, I love what I do. And I think, like, also because my dad said, like, growing up, he was like, if you find a job that you love, you will never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And just, like, seeing that through him, I was like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And so I don't see myself really doing anything else.
That's awesome. So if someone was curious into, like, an aspect of what you do,
Okay.
what would be your advice going into it? Because obviously you had your dad kind of helping you, like, at least, like, navigating or understanding it. And then you had, like, some companions along the way doing that. For someone who doesn't have that, what would your advice be?
I would say look into, like, local departments and kind of see what they're offering.
Yeah.
Because you can bounce around so much and you get to experience so much that I feel like doing that, you'll find someone who will kind of see that potential and kind of put you
Where you
need to go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's genuinely so much to do within, like, a local department.
Yeah.
That you don't realize it until you're there. And, like, you can find a mentor and find somebody. And, like, there's so many things that you can do. And I think that would probably be my biggest.
So at the end of the day, meet people.
Yes. Like, you just
Talk to
you got to network. Just like any other job, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, finding that right person to get you connected into something else.
Okay.
Because, like, I feel like my job is so niche that not a lot of people, like, would even know that it exists.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't know it existed till I met you.
Right, exactly.
I mean, like, obviously, like, someone's got to do it. But,
Right,
like,
but you just never think of
the
logistics.
I talk for a living. Like,
Yes.
I'm not thinking about that whole side of the world as deeply, which, I mean, I've quickly learned, you know, but your job, the last girl on here, literally created parking lots and civil engineer, and, like, I've never thought about parking lots more, but now every time I enter one, for example, Food Line around the corner, one of their light poles is in the middle of a parking spot, and I sent her a picture, and I said, wasted spot, you would have done a better job. And you know what? Now I notice the parking lots.
It's crazy.
It is.
Like,
there's so many sectors of the world that people don't understand
realize
as a job.
that, like, you're like, oh, I would have never thought that this would have been even a job.
Yep.
But it is.
I mean, also, you look back 20, 30 years, and what were the options? Vet, doctor, nurse,
lawyer, I guess.
military.
Yeah. Not much.
Not many. And now, every single thing that you see is a job. An arborist. You climb trees for a living and make sure they're alive.
I didn't even know that was a job.
Arborist. Yeah, I only know that because we have big trees and we need someone to come out and look and make sure they're alive.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. You have to go to school for it.
No way. Mm-hmm. I would have never known that.
Yeah, like environmentalist kind of job.
Yeah.
Like that kind of degree. I don't know what the exact degree is, but somewhere in there. Not geology, because geology
that's
rocks.
like rocks.
But like that realm.
The more you
of
know.
the world. Yeah. I mean, geologists exist.
Yeah, study of rocks.
They're looking at rocks.
Yeah.
As a child, what I thought was so interesting, archaeology.
I still think archaeology is cool. Are you kidding me?
So cool.
It's so
freaking
so
cool.
interesting what they can dig up. They're like, oh, well, we think that this happened around this time at this place. And they go and they dig there, and it did. And I'm like,
sure enough, there
what do you mean?
I know.
Yeah.
Proof of, like, the Bible, like, a
That's
bajillion
so
and
crazy
bajillion and bajillion times.
There's so many, like, archaeological facts that link back to the Bible.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's so insane.
Yeah. I
read a book. I think it was by Lee Strobel, and it was like, I don't have enough faith to be an atheist.
Oh, yeah.
And he basically, like, he was set out to, like, disprove...
Case against Christ.
Yes.
The kind of vibe.
Like, disprove Christianity, and he basically, like, found so many facts, like, archaeological facts.
Yeah.
That proves the Bible, and he was like, well, I was wrong.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
And it's all because his wife...
Yes, because she converted.
And he was like, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Exactly. And then he was like, I was wrong.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Jesus is
it's
real.
So insane. I'm like, without God, like, science would not make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy.
Insane.
It's so insane. And in another life, I would have been an archaeologist, but I don't know
if
there would have been much work for me here in North Carolina.
No,
so really not. It all worked out the way it was supposed to, you know?
I agree.
Okay, so that's your story. Mm-hmm. And you love your job.
I do.
And you're so good at it, apparently. Humble.
What can I say?
There's a difference between being humble and knowing that you add value. Yeah.
But
okay, cool.
It's a good job.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. You're killing it. Good job on the promotion.
Thank you. So excited.
I know.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I, like, pulled my stats and everything, and I showed them that since I started, we had 20 new departments start participating. Mm-hmm. I've done over 900 acquisitions. So, like, our acquisitions, like, each one is a different casing to a shooting or a test fire or a gun. Mm-hmm. So it's just crazy, like, see those numbers.
Yeah, and then be able, I mean, you literally actively pushed.
Yes.
For yourself. You had to stand up for yourself. Mm. So, you did.
I did
stand up for yourself.
And I got the job.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. A lot of my hard work. Because, I mean, it's been, in January, it'll be 4 years that I've been doing what I've been doing. And still loving every moment of it. You found your thing. I did. Okay. I literally couldn't ask for anything else.